my name is Gauri Puranik and I'm the Director for English Programs for the British Council in India. Today we have gathered here with three very noted authors, Meena Kandasamy, Maitri Kannur and Daljit Nagra, and our moderator for the evening, Janaka Pushpanathan. We are here to discuss about multilingualism and empowerment. This is part of the India-UK Together Season of Culture. This program was launched by both India and UK on 7th June 2022. It marks the 75th anniversary of India and will showcase a program of events across music, literature, theatre, cinema, fashion and the visual arts. Our discussion today will focus on the hyper-diversity that we see in India and its multilingual context. Multilingualism, in fact, is listed as one of the fundamental principles in our education policy, and there is established research that shows that multilingualism and sociolinguistic diversity does lead to better learning outcomes. Taking us through the discussion today is Janaka Pushpanathan. Janaka is British Council Director for South India.
We are aware that India and UK share an intertwined past, but we also have a very glorious present and future. Our two Prime Ministers signed on a 2030 roadmap for which actually builds on the rich cultural heritage of both our countries. And there is a section in the roadmap which talks about the living bridge, and this event is one example of the living bridge and the connections that we make between our two countries. So the theme for today is multilingualism and empowerment. And some of the things that we want to cover or uncover during this discussion is to look at how we can build trust and a shared pride in the rich body of literature that connects our two countries. And we've got some really brilliant authors who will be able to do that for us and to unpick some of those conversations. How do we also look at, like Gauri said about the national education policy, how do we develop the skills of teachers? I know that a lot of you have joined us online, and we hope that this will be beneficial to our online audiences as well as our in-person audience here at the British Council. How do we use English literature effectively in the teaching and learning of English? We will do a little bit on that as well. And also, how do we then connect learners between our two countries to learn through collaborative activities that also builds interests and skills for future authors or aspiring authors in English language. We've got about 19,500 home languages or mother tongues and 22 official languages in India, and English included. And like Gauri said, hyper-diverse linguistic country. And it's also recognized by the National Education Policy that there's a clear focus on multilingualism, and that's what we want to explore through this panel discussion. I think one of the broad themes that we're trying to address here is to establish the linguistic diversity in India, the challenges, the opportunities, also linguistic hierarchy in day-to-day life and the classroom. So I want to throw this open to all of you, Daljit, Meena and Maitri. What are your thoughts on the hierarchical aspects of linguistic diversity? How does it pan out in the classroom today? How does it pan out in our day-to-day lives? And do you have any thoughts, especially with the kind of writing that you're either doing yourself or translating? So Meena, do you want to go first?
I feel like I'm this spot. I think one of the things that I would like to share is that our classrooms tend to assume that students are homogeneous, and our syllabus is whether it's English 101, what you call technical English in university, or whether it's diversify opinions. But I also think that like earlier she spoke about translation and the importance of using translated text as well, because I would like to disagree a little bit on what constitutes Indian writing in English. Like not everybody is the same elite, or some of us do write different work. But what I would like to just go back to is I would like to inculcate the practice of translation as a part of learning language. Like in case you're teaching English, I think that the idea of punditry, the idea that only some people can do some things has to be challenged. Like just as children learn how to do fill in blanks, how children learn how to make the active voice into passive voice, I think children should be able to translate in their classrooms, from their mother tongues into English, from English. This should be a part of. I have been, as somebody who works between the UK and India, I have been mentoring emerging translators for the National Centre for Writing, and this is something that I really think because it also teaches you so much about. In one sense, it's cultural. In one sense, it's political and ideological. But behind that, you also see how languages function, how sentences function, what's a word, what are the multiple meanings it has, and how does a word change when it crosses a language to another. So I really think that it's such a transformational experience. So it's not just about having a text in the classroom, but actually telling children or telling people what are the most interesting texts around, what are the most interesting conversations people are having, how do we bring them in, how do you produce literature? So you make them not just consume passively, but actually create work. So that's how I would like to handle it as a policy or as a teaching method.